So here we go, everyone. Final session on the merchant track today. And the honor for that falls to Deri Jones. And he's the performance director at ThinkTribe, who helped dozens of UK blue chips make their customer journeys faster and error-free. Now, Deri's a real early internet pioneer, having headed up the UK's first ISP back in '93. Having grown and sold a couple of businesses, he set up ThinkTribe in 2003. And their CX solutions are trusted by brands like Bowden, Currys, Ted Baker, 3, Office, and WH Smith. So please, everyone, give me a real warm welcome for our last merchant speaker of the day, Deri Jones.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for that warm welcome. You're still awake? Still got me here. So, this is my opening slide. Mystery shopping on steroids. It's not normal mystery shopping. We're all losing baskets, but does it have to be that way? I hope you don't like that cheesy image there. I hope you don't like that. These are e-commerce guys who are not thinking about their customers. They're having happy internal chit-chat. Everything's happy. And they're not thinking about the pain that's happening on the live side. So that's what we're talking about today, the pain on the live side. So my company ThinkTribe, we work with these brands for a long time. And the theme of today has been, I think for all of us, it's harder to get and more expensive to get visitors to your site. So we really want to maximize the value when they're there. Let's see if this little experiment is going to work. It's not going to work. You getting it? I want to ask for hands up who remembers those noises back in the 90s as a teenager, whatever. But that's where my internet journey began. Here's something you don't know that you can use down the pub whenever to show how savvy you are. The internet in the UK did not start in London. It started in Canterbury, which is where I now live. It was a spin out from the University of Kent, a bunch of boffins who were dialing with modems into the USA, way back in the beginning. That's not the same as the guy who wrote the World Wide Web protocol, HTTP. That's Tim Berners-Lee. He's different. This is the internet, the network itself. And the other interesting thing about the internet itself is actually, it's only thanks to the Americans that we've got it. The American military designed the TCP/IP protocol and gave it away so that Microsoft and nobody else owned it. We all own it. And when the Americans split up their phone companies, they let the Unix operating system be non-proprietary as well. So anyway, if you want lots of stories about the early days of the internet and the crazy things that were going on the American or the London bankers who wanted to buy the internet and all sorts of wacky stuff, talk to me over a beer. So over that period, technology's come and gone, fads have come and gone. Back in those days, you could write a web page on your Todd with Notepad in Windows and a few images. You didn't need a team. Wow. And now look at what we've got. Fantastic talks earlier about composable commerce, Mac Alliance, plugins. Blimey, we've got 7 layers of complexity multiplied by 7 suppliers. We're all busy. If I talk too fast, on the front row, you did a great talk. If I talk too fast, will you let me know? You have to shout, because I might not see a hand. So what I'm talking about today, just to set the scene, this is a practical thing. It's not a big thing. You're not going to need to, if you want to go down this path, you don't need to change any software on your systems. You don't need any plugins. You don't need any more JavaScript in your browsers. It's a low effort. You can get going. So this is not an experiment that's going to take you forever and will be scheduled in 15 months. So it's practical. So what are we going to take away from today? What's the dive in? We're going to take away lost baskets. We all have them. They're caused by friction. Friction that goes under our radar normally. That's the friction we're talking about. And we can reduce them, and we can save And my experience across those brands is somewhere between 0.2% and up to 2% of your baskets. Hopefully none of you are in the state where you're losing 2% because of this kind of stuff, but you might be losing, and probably are losing 0.2%. So let's start with, what are we talking about? Customer friction. What are we talking about, these lost baskets? This is the kind of thing that's obvious, isn't it? I guarantee that every one of you has seen this. Probably. Anybody know who it is? Which brand? Who it is? It's LinkedIn. LinkedIn throws out often. That's fine. So we're not talking about that kind of obvious failure, although it's an interesting example of where LinkedIn clearly doesn't go down for us all, or not often anyway, but does throw that for a percentage of people, or maybe it's just a few people, but happens often. So we're not really talking about that. We're not talking about this kind of thing where your whole website is down, your homepage won't work. Our technology's moved on. The homepage can stay up now. Doesn't mean that you can buy anything. Doesn't mean it's easy to go shopping. It doesn't mean that later on in the journey, shoppers might get stuck, but we never have a whole site down anymore. So we're not really talking about that. We're kind of talking about this kind of customer friction. Oops, we have encountered a technical error. I won't ask for hands up, but is it possible that your shop sometimes has a technical error message? It's not great. And we're not really talking about if you're a huge TV streamer and you have 10 million people tune in for something and you have a problem. None of us are in that boat, so not really talking about that. Did I say that what we're doing today is going to be no change, no plugins, no extra JavaScript? It's easy, good. And even smaller retailers can do it and try it. Head of eCommerce at Furniture Box, they're not one of the biggest retailers out there, but this approach really, really helped them. So let's start getting into the meat. We want better customer experience. It is now the final battleground. You know this already. I'm only repeating what you already know. It's no longer possible to have more demand than supply. Whatever we are producing, we've got more supply than demand. We have to work hard to sell our stuff. And this year, the theme of today, it's hard to bring traffic in. Let's not lose anybody once they're on our site. So let's do a little straw poll of who's making major changes this year. Everybody put your hand up. Everybody put your hand up so nobody's embarrassed. Every hand up. Who in the next 3 months, in the past 3 months or the next 6 months is making a major change to your platform? Put your hands down if that's you. Look around. If you want to know who's doing that, meet them afterwards. Keep your hand up if you haven't put it down yet. Who's planning to bolt on some marketing technology plugins? Perhaps we'll do it the other way. Put your hand up. Keep it up. Look around. Chat to those guys. If you're doing the same, have a chat to them afterwards. We're all changing our stuff. We're all doing more stuff. And this is the problem. This is the car crash. We want better customer experience, but we're changing stuff. We're making it more complicated. There's more scope for software, corner cases, unforeseen things. What could go wrong? Yeah. Three steps forward, 2 steps back. But that's okay. It's okay to go, as a management philosophy, it's okay to go 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, as long as you're not going 3 steps back, and as long as you know what the steps back are. And some of these things we're talking today might mean you can go 3 steps forward and only 1 step back. So we built it. It's better. The new feature is better. We're happy. It's gone live. But we might be putting a percentage of our users through friction that we don't know about. Not the obvious ones, not where there's a JavaScript error and stuff, but there's some going on. And we kind of know that's true, and we don't have a handle because we have a gut instinct that we get complaints and we get emails and we have bug reports and complexities that don't get solved. So we kind of all know this is happening, and yeah, lost baskets happen. So let's go on our journey to try and understand and solve these. How are we doing for time? So this is a whopper. If this is your site, and this may not have thrown any errors anywhere in the system, but the big circle says, I don't owe American Express anything, no payment due. That's a relief. But the line above says my account is overdue. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's the kind of friction you don't want to put in the way of your customers. There's obvious other areas. My wife's German. I like a bit of German. Hier passiert gerade ein kleines technisches Update. Yeah, we've updated our site, and it's a little bit of technology change, and we're broken. Yeah, we don't want that. That's going to lose some baskets. This is one of my favorite ones, and this is not happening on your sites today. I guarantee it. Or if it is, you better do something about it. Has anybody watched the TV program Life is Goodish? Everybody seen that one? Comedy guy. Life is Goodish. I've forgotten his name. This is great. There was a problem with your order or booking. We're not sure what went wrong, really. It might have been your order, might have been your booking. We're just laid back. Even worse, it's got this horrible smack in the face, red box. Do you want to start again? So I'm sure this is not happening on our sites. But the issue really, the key fact is it's not impacting all your visitors all the time, these kind of issues. And it might be linked to a particular product choice, a product basket choice, a payment choice, a delivery choice, a browser they're using. It's complicated, a personalization thing, all sorts of stuff. So that's, if you go to talk to your tech teams, they'll say, oh, the logs are fine, nothing has happened this week. So, yeah, but it might be going under the radar for these reasons. Let's see if this video works now. This is a great application. Somebody's done on this one the right thing. They've put the shopping basket through the tunnel. So when you select the product and add to basket, bang, it grays out the rest of the screen for you, or in this case, pinks it out for you, which is good to focus on the box. But this time, watch what happens. You close the box, you close the tunnel, and the whole page stays grayed out. You can't go anywhere. You've just locked that user out. They're right there at the buying point. And they just can't click anywhere on your page, not anywhere. That was an example of one where it was an interrelation between some A/B testing, fiddling around, and some other corner cases that were not expected. So that's the example of something that can go under the radar and just lose a basket, cause the friction. I like that example because it's just so horrible. So we're going to focus then. So you and I, we're going to go on a journey. Let's see if we can drill into our sites and explore this. So we're going to look for 3 areas where our site might be broken this way. We're going to look at business logic, technical issues, slowness. People are often surprised by that first category. Like, our business logic doesn't cause. We have technical issues, or we have lots of technical issues, but business logic? Yeah, business logic is often a cause of these kind of decisions are being made. I've got the buy one, get one free as an example. If you buy this, if you spend more than that, this should happen. If you take that out of the basket, something else should happen. And somebody hasn't spec'd up all the possible combinations of that, and you can be left high and dry. So technical issues, yeah, we know about those, and we're probably capturing most of those in our systems. Probably good on those. The speed issue, people often say, oh, we're all on the cloud now, so it's all fast, isn't it? And, but this is what we see across lots of our clients, lots of the time. Purple peaks where it goes over the KPI. During the day, something's slow down, it's bad customer experience. It's been interesting, some of the talks today have been about speed. The last talk about Adobe, speed. In this modern world, despite cloud and despite hardware, speed is still always really important. And in fact, our shoppers are probably more impatient than they were 20 years ago, 5 years ago. Sporadic issues, they come and go. If you haven't been logging this, the next day, you've got no chance of working out why we had some grumpy clients around noon. That Hills video was good. Was it business logic? Was it tech? Was it both? Not all products were affected on that one, interestingly. Wasn't that everybody got blocked out of the cart? It was linked to a particular column, a product you chose in the array. There's one I was looking at yesterday, the team were looking at. You go to a product listing page, and you can click any product to zoom in on it. If you click on one of them, it doesn't zoom you in, takes you back out to a category page. Obviously not intended in the business logic that we should upset our clients. Now again, no error was thrown for that, but it's just annoying for users, because how do I get to that product that I wanted? And now I'm back in a different category page. All software has bugs. It's going to happen. Another interesting area. Well, let's move on in our journey. So we've got these problems. These things all happen. Checkout, add to basket, slowness, search, wrong, bog off. They all happen. So we're gonna fix this, you and I. Let's go on a project on your site. Okay. The only way to find out is to be the shopper. It's probably some kind of Chinese proverb. Be the whatever. Be the change. So we're going to be the shopper. Okay, you and I. 9 o'clock in the morning, we're sat next to each other on our consoles. Let's go. Every 5 minutes, we're going to do some shopping. We're going to be a shopper. Let's see what we get. Has anybody ever done that? Spent 2-3 hours just on your site as a shopper? It's often quite informative. You'll probably uncover some user experience weirdness while you're at it. I'm not talking about user experience weirdness. I'm talking about customer experience friction. So we'll do that, and we'll keep a log of the journeys you and I. So here's the journey I took. I tapped the menu. I chose shoes. I chose a random espadrilles. I chose the green ones because, size 2. I put an email in, postcode. Yeah, great. So we're going to log that every 5 minutes. We're going to go through, do that. Random choices, random journeys, in and out of the baskets. Keep a log. It's all good. We're going to track as we go. We're going to track each deliverable page, the timings we get. Speed is so important. We're going to take the video recording of what we're doing. So, because when we find one of these things, we need evidence to fix it. So we need the video so people can't say it was. Look, that's great. We'll keep a log, you and I. It's getting towards 11 in the morning. We're getting a bit tired now because it's just hard work every 5 minutes. But we can do it. We can get there. And we keep a log of the things that break, and we find them. Could not find the address button. That's not really an error. It just means your shopper's got to put in their address again. They can't just start typing a few words. So that's extra friction, but under your radar. Yeah, but hey, it's lunchtime. Hey guys, we're going to give up. You and I, it's hard work. We need a better way of doing this. This is where ThinkTribe, we could come in and help you kick it off. It's digital mystery shopping. It's 24/7. Doing those journeys we just looked at. It's random. It's doing what real users do. It's dynamic. It's intelligent. The only way, here's an analogy. If you're buying a second-hand car, you take it for a test drive. You don't just take the word of the guy selling it. You don't just take the engine temperature and measure, put it on the ramp and measure the brake horsepower at the rear wheel. That's not enough. You have to be in the car to do it. So that's mystery shopping on steroids. One thing, when we're doing this experiment, you and I back at the base, and we're kicking this project off, and one of your team will come along and say, yeah, we saw what you were doing there, and we see what you're doing. Yeah, haven't we got all that data already from Google Analytics? Haven't we got that already from here and from there? And those have great data, although I love the earlier talk on GA4 for entertainment value. But basically, no, because a lot of the errors that we're uncovering don't throw a JavaScript error. You can't ask your coders to say, if this happens, throw an error, because that dead end with the high heel shoes and the pink, it all worked, apparently. So you can't predict in advance what could possibly go wrong, and particularly in the mashup world of complexity, you just can't predict it. You have to do it, and then you find out. So hopefully our colleagues will say, yeah, okay, I see that it's not the same as Google Analytics, and we hate GA4 as well, so that's okay. So what we end up here with is, it's not just mystery shopping on steroids. It's not just following user journeys and being the shopper. It's actually a kind of managed, ongoing process. We can just keep on doing this to find and fix problems. And if our teams are squabbling and our supplier A is blaming supplier B, and was it that mashup? Was it the latest Adobe thing? Was it Fred on the front, Well, we've just got the evidence. We don't need long post-mortem meetings anymore. We don't have to have long meetings about what's it really like. We get a single point of truth between our teams. Actual insights, the data, the video. just saves so much stress. And the single point of truth is, as an e-commerce manager director, it's just amazing because there are so many balls that we're juggling up in the air. I just want to say, if it's all green, guys, I don't want any meetings about any of that CX stuff. Just carry on. Or, hey, there's a bunch of purple. That's slow. Well, you guys need to fix that. Oh, and if you need some money or if you need some resources, something, come and ask me. But I'll give it to you on the condition, and this makes it easy to be a manager, on the condition that you guarantee it goes green. And if it does, you can have it, and we can start fixing some of these CX stuff. So it allows you to move faster. Many organizations have said, having brought this in, having brought this approach in, mystery shopping on steroids, I've got respect across the management layers because they realize the confusion we had before in the meetings, and now we've just got a single point. It's great. So back to where I began. Gosh, that's good. 13 seconds to go. What can you take away from today? I'm just talking about lost baskets. It's not rocket science. And they are happening due to friction in the CX, and they're going under our radar, and we can fix them by just not being blind to them. And as I said before, there's no software change, there's no plugins, there's no JavaScript in your client's browsers. It's doable. So if you want to go on this journey in real, not just the imaginary journey we had, but if you want to go on it for real, grab me afterwards. I've got some crates of German wine. My wife is German, and we came back last month, so I've got some German crates for next month, if anybody kicks off then. Any questions? Was I too fast? No, thank you. Yeah, it's late in the day. No questions. Thank you all very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.